Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to shake your mindset, challenge your perspective, and ask you one simple but life-changing question. Asterisk, are you thinking like the rich or stuck like the poor? Asterisk, you see, success isn't just about money. It's not only about cars, homes, or bank accounts. Success starts here in your mind, the difference between those who rise and those who stay stuck. It's not luck, not connections, not even talent. It's their asterisk thinking. Asterisk, the rich think in terms of opportunity, the poor often think in terms of limitation. The rich focus on growth, the poor focus on survival. The rich believe there's always more to learn, more to earn, more to create. The poor believe this is all there is. I've reached my limit. I can't change my life. And here's the truth: wealth starts way before the money arrives. It starts with your daily thoughts, your beliefs about yourself, your belief in what's possible. If your mind is trapped in fear, doubt, and excuses, it doesn't matter how hard you work, you'll stay stuck. But if your mind is wired for growth, hunger, and belief, the doors will open, even when they seem locked to others. The rich understand problems are part of the journey. They don't cry about them, they solve them. The poor see problems as stop signs. The rich see problems as stepping stones. Which one are you choosing to be? Every time life gets tough, ask yourself, am I thinking like the rich or stuck like the poor? Because rich thinking is not about your bank balance. It's about your mindset balance. It's not what's in your pocket that changes your future. It's what's in your head. Most people are prisoners of their own limitations. They talk themselves out of greatness. They say, I'm not smart enough, I'm not lucky enough, I wasn't born into the right family. But the rich thinker says, I'll figure it out, I'll work for it, I'll build the skills, I'll become the person who deserves success. Your current situation is temporary, your mind, it is permanent, unless you decide to change it. You can have a poor bank account today, but if your thinking is rich, success is inevitable. But if your thinking is poor, even if someone gives you wealth, you'll lose it, because your mind isn't ready to hold success. Ask yourself when you wake up, do you think of excuses or solutions? When you face rejection, do you quit or do you grow? When you see others winning, do you feel jealous or inspired? That's the gap between rich thinking and poor thinking. Let me be clear, rich thinking isn't about greed. It's about abundance. It's about knowing you can elevate your life, your family, your impact. It's about believing that you are capable of more and taking action. The world belongs to those who believe, those who grow, those who think beyond limits. The world belongs to those who refuse to stay stuck. So, I ask you again, are you thinking like the rich or stuck like the poor? The choice is yours and your future depends on it. Success is not something that begins when you earn your first paycheck, when you buy your first car, or when you finally live in your dream house. Success begins long before those visible achievements show up. It starts deep within your mind, in the way you think, the beliefs you hold, and the standards you set for yourself. Most people misunderstand this. They chase external results, thinking money, status, or recognition will make them successful. But the truth is, the foundation of every lasting success story is mindset. Your mindset is the soil, and your life is the tree that grows from it. If your thinking is weak, negative, or limited, your results will always reflect that, no matter how hard you work. But if your thinking is strong, positive, and limitless, the fruits of success will eventually follow. Think about the most successful individuals in the world, whether they are entrepreneurs, Athletes, leaders, or creators, they all started with nothing but an idea, a vision, and the belief that they could achieve something greater. What separated them from the crowd wasn't money in the beginning. It was how they thought. Their thoughts were aligned with success, possibility, and growth. They trained their minds to see opportunity where others saw obstacles. They believed in themselves when others doubted them, and most importantly, they refused to be defined by their current circumstances. That is the power of mindset. The problem with most people who stay stuck is that they wait for external proof to believe in their potential. They think, once I have money, I'll feel successful. Once I have connections, I'll act confident. Once I have results, I'll believe in myself. But this is completely backward. Confidence comes before the success. Belief comes before the breakthrough. Thinking rich comes before being rich. You have to mentally prepare yourself for success before life rewards you with it. Your mindset sets the tone for your entire life. If you believe you're destined for greatness, your actions will follow that belief. You'll work harder, you'll learn faster, you'll take risks, and you'll stay committed through the tough times. But if your mind is trapped in scarcity, fear, and self-doubt, no amount of hard work can break the cycle. You'll keep hitting invisible walls created by your own limited thinking. This is why developing the right mindset is the first and most important step toward any success. It means shifting your focus from excuses to solutions, from fear to courage, from lack to abundance. It means feeding your mind with empowering thoughts, surrounding yourself with growth-minded people, and challenging the limits you've placed on yourself for years. Because once your mindset evolves, your entire life begins to evolve with it. Your thinking shapes your reality, and your success starts within, long before the world ever sees it. The biggest difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck isn't luck, resources, or background, it's perspective. Rich thinkers and poor thinkers live in the same world, face similar challenges, and often start from similar circumstances. But the way they interpret situations, the way they respond to life's events, and the way they focus their energy set them worlds apart. Rich thinkers are wired to look for opportunities, while poor thinkers are trained to see limitations. This simple but powerful difference controls how far a person goes in life. When an obstacle appears, poor thinking immediately looks at what's wrong. I can't do this. This is impossible. Or someone else is luckier than me. Poor thinkers operate from a mindset of scarcity, constantly believing there aren't enough resources, chances, or pathways to succeed. They convince themselves they're stuck before they even try. And the more they focus on these limitations, the more those limitations grow, keeping them trapped in the same cycle of struggle. Rich thinkers, on the other hand, train their minds to search for what's possible. Instead of saying, I can't afford this, they ask, how can I afford this? Instead of saying, there are no opportunities, they look for gaps, create solutions, and turn challenges into stepping stones. They understand that the world is full of hidden doors, but only those who are looking for them will ever find them. Opportunities are not always obvious. Often they come disguised as hard work, risk, or uncertainty. Poor thinkers reject these challenges because they see only the immediate discomfort. Rich thinkers embrace them because they recognize the long-term rewards. It's not about being naive or unrealistic. It's about focusing your energy on progress rather than problems. Your focus is your power. If you constantly focus on what's missing, what's unfair, or what's out of reach, your brain shuts down possibilities. But when you focus on potential, on solutions, and on growth, your brain becomes resourceful. You start to notice doors that were invisible before. You attract opportunities because your mind is tuned in to finding them. Rich thinking is proactive. It's about asking better questions, believing there is always a way forward, and training yourself to stay curious rather than defeated. Poor thinking is reactive. It surrenders to circumstances, believes life happens asterisk to asterisk them, and waits for someone else to create change. In the end, your mindset becomes your reality. If your mind is locked onto limitations, your life will reflect that restriction. But if your mind is locked onto opportunities, your future expands. The world isn't divided by rich or poor, it's divided by thinkers who believe in growth and those who stay stuck in limitation. One of the greatest differences between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is how they view problems. Problems are a universal part of life. Everyone faces them, whether you're rich or poor, young or old, experienced or just starting out. But how you respond to problems determines your future. People with a poor mindset see problems as stop signs. They treat challenges as the end of the road, reasons to quit, or proof that success isn't meant for them. When they hit an obstacle, their immediate thought is, "This is too hard," or "I can't do this." They allow problems to discourage them, to make them doubt themselves, and to reinforce the belief that life is unfair. Rich thinkers, however, approach problems with a completely different attitude. They see problems as stepping stones, not stop signs. To them, problems are part of the process, a natural part of growth, and often an invitation to become stronger, smarter, and more capable. Every challenge holds a lesson. Every setback reveals a weakness that needs to be improved. And every obstacle is a chance to rise above the level they're currently operating at. This mindset doesn't mean rich thinkers enjoy problems, but they respect them. They understand that success isn't a straight, easy path. It's filled with detours, failures, and unexpected tests. But instead of letting those tests define them, they use them to refine themselves. They ask better questions when problems show up. What can I learn from this? How can I grow? How can I find a solution? Those questions lead to better actions and ultimately better results. Most people want success to come easy, but ease doesn't create strength, and comfort never produces growth. The reason rich thinkers separate themselves from the crowd is because they are willing to stay in the game when others give up. They face rejection and keep moving. They fail and try again. They fall, but they get back up stronger and wiser each time. It's not that rich thinkers are born with more talent or better circumstances. They simply refuse to let problems stop them. Instead, they step over them, around them, or through them. They turn challenges into advantages. Over time, that resilience builds confidence. Every time they solve a problem, their belief grows stronger, and they become more prepared for the next level of life. Meanwhile, poor thinkers retreat at the first sign of difficulty. They allow fear, frustration, and self-doubt to paralyze them. As a result, they stay stuck in the same cycle of missed opportunities and unfulfilled potential. They don't realize that every problem is a doorway to personal growth and greater success, but only if you're willing to walk through it. Your ability to face problems head-on shapes your future. Life will never be free of challenges, but with the right mindset, those challenges become your greatest tools for growth, strength, and success. Your beliefs are the foundation of your reality. Every action you take, every risk you avoid, every opportunity you chase, or every dream you dismiss is rooted in the beliefs you carry about yourself, about life, and about what's possible for you. People often underestimate the power of belief, but it is the invisible force that shapes every result you experience. If you believe you are capable, worthy, and destined for success, your mind and body will naturally align with that vision. You'll take the necessary actions, you'll stay persistent in the face of failure, and you'll build the habits that bring your goals to life. But if your beliefs are weak, negative, or based on fear, you'll unconsciously sabotage your own progress. This is where many people stay stuck. They've convinced themselves that they aren't smart enough, talented enough, connected enough, or lucky enough to achieve great things. These limiting beliefs become the chains that hold them back. Even when opportunities appear, they hesitate. Even when the path is clear, they doubt. Their mind becomes a battlefield of insecurity, constantly whispering reasons why they can't win. The problem is never just the external circumstances, it's the belief system they carry within. On the other hand, rich thinkers understand that beliefs are not fixed. They can be shaped, strengthened, and expanded. They know success doesn't require perfection, it requires belief. They believe they can learn, adapt, and improve. They believe that even if they fail today, they can win tomorrow, and that belief system gives them an advantage over those trapped in self-doubt. Belief creates energy, it fuels courage, it pushes you to step outside your comfort zone. When you believe in your ability to grow, failure becomes feedback, not a reason to quit. Challenges become temporary, not permanent roadblocks. This is why two people can face the same situation. One sees defeat, the other sees a challenge to overcome. The only difference, their beliefs. Your mind looks for evidence to confirm your beliefs. If you believe you're destined to fail, you'll notice every mistake and ignore every success. But if you believe you're capable, you'll spot opportunities even in setbacks. That's how belief shapes your reality. It filters your focus, drives your actions, and influences your emotions. No one is born with unshakable belief. It's built over time by challenging old limitations, celebrating small wins, and surrounding yourself with positive influences. Rich thinkers constantly work on their belief system. They feed their minds with empowering ideas, they remind themselves of their past victories, and they visualize success until it feels real. If you want to change your reality, start by changing your beliefs. Stop saying, "I can't," and start asking, "How can I?" Stop focusing on your flaws and start building your strengths. Belief is the root of every transformation. The stronger your belief, the stronger your future. Your current situation is not your final destination. Far too many people make the mistake of believing that where they are now defines who they are forever. They look at their bank account, their job title, their background, or their failures, and they let those temporary circumstances shape their identity. But the truth is, where you are today is only a reflection of your past actions and your current mind. And it is not a prediction of your future unless you allow it to be. The greatest achievers in life didn't start from success. Many started with nothing. Some came from poverty, broken homes, rejection, and countless failures. What separated them from those who stayed stuck was not their environment, it was their mindset. They understood that their present situation was temporary, but their thinking had the power to shape a new future. You can be broke today and still have the mindset of a millionaire. You can be unknown today and still carry the confidence of a leader. You can be struggling today and still think like a winner. That mindset, that internal belief that your life can improve, that you can grow, that you can change your circumstances, is the seed of transformation. Too often, people allow their current limitations to dictate their future. They say, "I'm stuck. I don't have enough resources. This is all I can do." They speak defeat into their life because they're basing their future on their current reality, not on their potential. But here's the truth: your reality can shift dramatically when your thinking evolves. Your circumstances may feel heavy, but your mind is free to dream, to grow, to strategize, and to take action. The most dangerous thing you can do is accept temporary struggle as permanent identity. Struggling financially doesn't mean you are destined to be poor. Facing rejection doesn't mean you're unworthy. Being behind in life doesn't mean you'll never catch up. It only means your break through is waiting on the other side of new thinking, new learning, and consistent action. Rich thinkers know how to separate their self-worth from their temporary situation. They might be facing hardships, but in their mind, they are already building the foundation for success. They are visualizing the life they want, developing the skills they need, and believing that better is not just possible, it's inevitable if they keep moving forward. The poorest person in the world is not the one without money, it's the one without belief in change. If you change your mindset, your actions will follow. If your actions change, your results will change, and when your results change, so does your life. Never mistake your current location for your final destination. Life is fluid, circumstances evolve, and your potential is greater than your present. The only question is, will you let your current situation define you, or will you use it as fuel to build the future you deserve? Abundance thinking is one of the most powerful mindsets that separate those who grow, achieve, and lead from those who remain stuck in cycles of limitation. Abundance thinking isn't just about having more money, it's about believing there is more available to you in every area of life. More opportunities, more success, more knowledge, more impact, and more ways to elevate yourself and others. People who think with scarcity believe life is a competition, resources are limited, and success is only reserved for a lucky few. But abundance thinkers know the world is filled with possibilities, and there's enough success for everyone willing to work, learn, and grow. When you adopt an abundance mindset, you stop operating from fear and lack. You stop worrying that someone else's success takes away from yours. Instead, you celebrate others because their achievements are proof that success is possible. You don't fear competition, you focus on creation. You don't hoard information, you share, collaborate, and expand your network, knowing that the more value you give, the more returns life brings you. Abundance thinking rewires your approach to challenges. Instead of seeing problems as dead ends, you see them as opportunities to create better solutions. You stop saying, "There's not enough," and start asking, "How can I create more?" That simple shift transforms how you approach business, relationships, health, and personal growth. It builds confidence because you no longer believe success is a lottery, you believe it's a system. A process that anyone can tap into if they develop the right mindset. Scarcity thinkers, on the other hand, live in constant fear of losing, fear of missing out, fear of being left behind. This fear leads to jealousy, comparison, and playing small. They hold back their potential because they believe resources are limited and they have to fight for every little piece of the pie. But abundance thinkers know the pie can grow, wealth isn't fixed, success isn't capped. There's room at the table for anyone who's willing to believe, work, and evolve. Your mindset around abundance affects your energy, your confidence, and your ability to take risks. Abundance thinkers take bold action because they trust there are endless ways to succeed. They invest in themselves, their skills, their health, their network, knowing these investments create long-term returns. They attract opportunities because their energy is positive, optimistic, and focused on growth. Every breakthrough starts with believing there's more within you, more around you, and more ahead of you. When you operate from abundance, setbacks don't define you, and temporary losses don't discourage you. You see life as full of possibilities, and that mindset opens doors that scarcity thinking can't even recognize. The world belongs to those who think big, believe more is possible, and take action from a place of abundance. The only limits that exist are the ones created by small, restricted thinking, and the moment you shift to an abundance mindset, those limits start to disappear.